Merry Christmas, Mountain Ops family. I reflect and share often about a dream I once had that taught me a very valuable lesson about some gifts that we have the opportunity to share with others throughout our life. In this dream, I was standing on a stage and there was a sea of faces before me, close to 1,000 people. But I was confused in this dream. I wasn't sure why I was on the stage. I looked to my left, I looked to my right, trying to understand why I was there, why I was alone, and why were these people out in front of me. And all of a sudden, in my confusion, I saw a hand go up. And I looked out, of course, to that hand, and that person with their eyes and with their hand were begging me to not look away. And I was confused. But then another hand went up, and then another. And of course, my attention went to those hands that were raising up. But I frantically started to try to find my family. And all of a sudden, over on this side of the congregation, 5 hands went up, and I found them. And with their eyes and with their hands, they begged for me to not look away. But then another hand went up. I was distracted, and I looked towards that hand. I started to realize I was seeing people from church, from the community, people from work, and I was seeing strangers that I was unaware of who they were and why they would be having their hand and their eyes asking me to not look away. In this dream, I came to realize that I was on the stage of an auction, and I myself was the auctioneer. I was auctioning off my time and attention, one of the most valuable gifts we can offer to those around us throughout our lives. I woke up from this dream, I rolled out of my bed onto my knees. It played through my head over and over as I prayed to God, asking for some direction as to what I was to learn from this dream. And I thought about where my time and attention was going in life. Where were these gifts going? Were they going to the most valuable bidders? Were those that I love most receiving that gift of my time and my attention? Just a few days later, we found ourselves in a hospital room with my wife's grandmother as she slipped in and out of consciousness before she went from this life back to the God who gives us life. And as she came into consciousness, she would teach us important principles about paying off our debts and spending time with family and loved ones, making sure that those most valuable in our life were receiving our time and our attention. And I'm so grateful for all that I learned through this dream and how it's been in my life and in my thought processes as I've thought about life and all the things bidding for my time and attention. Each of us have so many things, so many people, so many requests of those gifts, our time and attention. And I pray that those gifts are going to the most valuable bidders. My wife taught me this valuable lesson just a few years ago when she gave me the gift of time and attention. On Christmas morning, I opened up a small gray box, and within this box was 12 envelopes, January, February, March, April, May, and so on and so forth. And within each of these envelopes was a gift of her time and attention, a date night for me and her throughout the year. And as I opened these and I saw what we would be doing, simple things, a movie night, a game night, a picnic, and my favorite of all, a Latin dance lesson. We spent the time one night dancing the night away as we learned something new. I'm so grateful for that intentional gift that she gave to me and the time and her attention that we had with one another throughout the year. And that's my invitation and my challenge to each of us, is to give of our time and our attention to those we love most. Now I think of all those hands going up in the crowd and those that were bidding for my time and for my attention. And at this Christmas time, I think of another set of hands, the hands of our Savior Jesus Christ, a hand that is stretched out still all the days of our life. I am so grateful for my Savior Jesus Christ and the life of Him who we celebrate at this time. I think of those hands stretched out still, and I think of what He shares with us. He says that I have engraven you upon the palms of my hands. And so with that gift that He offers, I pray that we will give Him our time and attention this year, that we will ponder upon ways that we can include Him more often in our lives, through our study, through our prayer, through our kind acts of service to those around us. Merry Christmas to each of you. May our time and attention be focused on He who matters most in our life, He who is mighty to save and mighty to help us conquer more in this journey that lies ahead.